Coffee Chat, where coffee meets conversation. I'm your host, Melissa Farmer Hill, a retired Army veteran and the founder of the Shiro Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. Yes, thank you for joining us today. Today's topics, yes, we're talking about depression with our guest of the week. We'll take a spin around the Shiro resource table, and we've got your story and tip of the week brewing up right after this. All right, I got to ask a question. Do you have your Shiro coffee? Do you have your Shiro coffee? Don't forget to go to shirocoffee.com, order your bag, and I want you to be sure to watch our 2025 ambassadors videos. You just go down to the Shiro Speaks gallery. There is so much that they are sharing. And before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Shiro Coffee Chat. All right? Now, let's take a spin around the Shiro resource table. Now, we all know that life is a journey and it's not always smooth sailing. That's why we have to keep our heads on a swivel. Yes, we do. When it comes to just looking out for one another and getting the right information for our veterans and our family members, there are over 16 million military veterans out there, and not one of us has all the answers, when it comes to benefits and programs and services and changes and resources for our military veterans and a family. And that's why I love sharing this information, in hopes that it will help you on your journey. And if not, maybe it'll help someone you know. All right. So, one thing I want to also add, because one thing I want to say is because the reason why we share this information is because if one of us wins, all of us win. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Now, Shiro resource table. Now, if you recently transitioned out of the military and you're trying to figure out what's my next move, what is my next move, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to va.gov. I want you to scroll down and look for the education and career counseling section. You'll need to fill out don't worry about trying to write all this down, because I got you. We're going to put it in the comments after this, or in the description after the show. You need to fill out a form 288832. That's the application for counseling. This is a chapter 36. It's also known as VA's Education and Career Counseling Program, and it's completely free, you guys. We have to start using these free benefits. You know how it goes. If you don't use it, you lose it. And it only takes a few minutes to get started. And this literally can change the direction, of your next chapter. And I want to hear, especially if you, I want you to hear me if you're especially under 30. I just want you to know that you're not alone. You've served your country, and now is the time to take full advantage of the benefits you earn. Get some free guidance, some for your education and your career path, from people who understand about your transition. And the reason why I'm encouraging you is because when I joined in Illinois. I spent 20 years in active duty. I retired actually in Illinois. That came with benefits. Had I not talked to an education counselor, I wouldn't have known that. So retiring, starting in the place and ending in the place that you came into the service with has its benefits. So I wouldn't have known that. Don't just go, I got my GI Bill. I want you to make sure you get that education and career counseling. All right. I already said it. We'll go ahead and leave that information down in the description after the show. And I want to jump into our story of the week. And the reason I'm moving so fast is because I can't wait to introduce you guys to the guest speaker. So let's get into our story of the week. Air Force and Navy, they warn the troops about political speech amid Trump administration changes. Yep. So recently, the Air Force and Navy sent out memos reminding service members that while they have the right of free speech under the First Amendment, those who serve have to accept some limitations as part of their duty. So, what does this mean in real life? It means you definitely can have personal opinions. You can talk politics with your friends and family. You can share your experiences, but you can't make disrespectful public statements about the president, Congress, or your military leaders, especially while in uniform or serving in an official capacity. And then they gave out specific articles, specific violations. So they gave out Article 88, which is showing contempt, Article 92, failure to follow orders and regulations. They gave out Article 133, which is behavior unbecoming of an officer, and then Article 134, which is kind of like the catch-all, basically anything that messes up the good order and discipline of the military. So now I want you to hear me, because I'm not saying that anything will happen to you under these articles, but if you are out there on these social platforms and you're in your feelings about your politics, your chain of command, or whatever, guess what? They can honor. They can kick you out. And I don't believe any of those UCMJ articles that I talked about have honorable discharge on them. Okay, it's not an honorable discharge, and you definitely don't want something other than honorable hanging over your head for the rest of your life. Serving means something. you know it means something. Serving honorably means something. And just remember, when you wear the uniform, you represent more than yourself. You still can have your voice, you still can speak your truth, but don't take a chance and ruin your career over politics. Because guess what? Once they kick you out, politics will still be politicking. They'll still have it. It's going to happen anyway. So look, just stay within the boundaries. You can go up to the line, but don't cross the line. And if you don't know what the line is, stay off the social platform talking about politics and the military until you hang up that uniform. And that was really my recommendation. It's a great article, military.com. I thought it's important. I thought it was important to share that with you, especially if you're currently serving and you have an opinion about the politics of today, and or your military chain of command. All right, we're going to move right into our tip of the week. So I was watching Bill Burr. He's a comedian, in case you don't know him. I was watching his Netflix special, and it was titled Drop Dead. He's funny. I thought he was funny. And he made a joke that just stuck in my head. He said men, and I know it's Women's History Month, but I can't, I got to let it out. I got to let it out, you guys. He said men ages 49 to 61 are too young to die. Because, when you hear someone say, oh, wow, they were only 50 or, 40, he said they're too young to die, but not too young to drop dead. Now, he did say that in a way that was, funny, but it hit me because it's true. So I looked it up, and then I found out that actually heart attacks and strokes in men under the age of 60 are on a rise. And then there are studies that show that heart attacks of people under 40, he said 49 to 61, people under 40 have been increasing 2% every year over the past 10 years. Now that is serious, you guys. It's serious. So today's tip for the week: go get your checkups. Go get your checkups. Don't wait for something to go wrong. Uh, don't brush it off. Don't be too proud. Don't be too busy. Don't be too tired. Get your blood pressure, get your cholesterol, get your heart checked out, because it could literally save your life. I want you to know, men out there, you matter. You matter that to the women that who love you and you support and all of that. So make sure that you make your health a priority, because everyone wants you around for the long haul. And that was my tip of the week. All right. So we're going to move right into I'm so excited. Anybody remember that song? Anybody remember that song? We are going to move into the guest of the week. Andre, I see you are excited too because I haven't even said anything about her. That's Andre. I want to send a shout out to my baby. Happy birthday, Andre. Happy birthday, Andre. And thank you for being a loving husband, for being a supporter, for being a provider, for just allowing me to follow my dreams. I appreciate you. And I just want to say a happy birthday to you. All right. Now that I gotten that out the way, because I hear you in the background with the doorbell. Our next guest, what can I say? She is, I have something to say because I wrote it down. She is an Air Force veteran, a Chicago native, Chi-Town. She has over 30 years of experience working in mental health and social services. She has worked with the Department of Defense, Veterans Affairs, Child and Family Services, and even the government of Guam. How many of you guys have been to Guam? Yep, she's been there, done that. And what she does, she's always helping people navigate their trauma, mental health challenges, and life transitions. She specializes in supporting diverse communities, especially around military and community trauma. She brings a deep understanding of how race, gender, and identity intersect with mental health. She is a proud alumni of the Institute for Clinical Social Work and an active member of organizations such as the NCNW, NAACP, American Legion, DAV, and the International Association for Psychoanalytic Self Psychology. That was a lot. This is wonderful. One of her favorite quotes comes from Dr. Maya Angelou. And I think it says, I've learned people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's how Dr. Dickerson shows up. I know her personally. That's how she shows up: compassion, wisdom, and heart. She is the founder and CEO of Her Service Matters and Victory Place NFP, two organizations focused on healing and empowerment, especially for women veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Renee Dickerson. Dr. Dickerson, let me just add on to that. Your accomplishments speak volumes. You are, to me, undeniably a woman of purpose. You're about your business of transforming people's lives for the better. And one thing, you always show up when I need you. So I want to say thank you and welcome to the Shiro Coffee chat as we talk about dealing with unseen wounds, a conversation on mental health. I think it's so needed. So I'm gonna start with, tell us a little bit about you.
Let me say, wow, that was an amazing announcement. I had to look and see who you were talking about. And you are amazing. I've enjoyed this journey with you in helping veterans. And yes, I am from Chicago, um, retired from the VA in 2023. I've worked with veterans and their families, militaries, and also first responders for the majority of my career. But I think what is most so important is my connections and relationships with other women veterans like yourself.
Yeah, yeah. That so I really want to dive in because I want to squeeze in all the minutes that we can because the time goes so quickly. But what I want to first tell people about, if you don't know it, Dr. Dickerson is the author of Unveiling the True Self, and a journey of empowerment and self discovery for women veterans. And let me just say, when I first saw this book and the beautiful young girl on the cover and the way she's posed, it made me think of my own innocence. It made me think of just hope. And then when I went into the contents of this book, it gave me exactly that. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for unveiling true self. And you guys, it's on all platforms. Where can we get it? I know it's on Amazon.
It's definitely on Amazon.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you can get it on Amazon. For those of you who are not shopping on Amazon right now, wait until that time, or make an exception, make an exception. So I want you to tell me about the book Unveiling the True Self. We can start there.
This is an opportunity to analyze the impact of trauma has had on you, understand your trauma history, and living triumphantly after trauma. Life does not end because you've experienced trauma. In the military, outside the military, we have within us, we call it resiliency, whatever have you. We can prevail and achieve anything. I was talking with the commander of the Moffett Point Marines in Chicago, Sharon, and she said in boot camp she had to jump from a plank that was 100 feet high. And she didn't want to do it. She ended up doing it, and she realized if she could do that, she can do anything. And so I'm speaking to all women veterans. You made it through training. You made it through the military, whatever trauma, whatever institutional betrayal you experience, you can make it through anything, even what's going through or going on right now in the political arena, because we get it done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, in your experience, and you've talked to a lot of women veterans, what are some of the most common unseen wounds? And I think unseen wounds, that the word is so perfect, because people see you, they see you whole. When I look at you, I
Mhm.
see you whole, but I don't know what else is going on. So what are some of the most common unseen wounds, or what you would call unseen wounds, that women veterans face in the military, after the military?
My sister Melissa, that is an excellent question because as women, I think we do a better job of masking our wounds.
Mm,
So it we cover it up with this mask and we go forward, we push forward. And the point that you brought up about women dropping dead is definitely higher for women who have served.
mm,
And so when we talk about the unseen wounds, institutional betrayal,
mm,
giving orders that you know in your heart that it's unethical,
yeah.
okay? Betrayed by your supervisor, your commander, sexual harassment, sexual assault, and still having to serve,
Yeah.
becoming pregnant by the offender, and they have to make a decision to keep the fetus or not.
Mhm.
And you still have to live life beyond the military because when we decided to join the military, we decided to join because there were so many opportunities for us, and we wanted to achieve a better station in life. Of course, we wanted to serve our country. That's in the contract,
Mhm. Mhm.
okay? But we did not have to serve. And
Mhm.
so with what we have achieved in the military, and oftentimes women in the military are the first to do certain jobs, even today.
Yeah.
And so we got to be proud of our service.
Mhm.
And then we have to spread our wings and soar
Yeah.
so we can achieve the things we want to achieve.
Hmm. I think it's good that you said, in service and after service, because life does go on. Um, and I know you've come across many women who don't seek the help they need. So what do you think are some of the barriers that prevent women from
Mhm.
seeking the mental health services and things like that? And how can we break that, or can you give us just a few tips on what a woman could do? I've just say, for instance, I'll give you this as an example. I
Mhm.
experienced military sexual trauma. I know that I'm entitled to benefits, but I have anxiety about going to the VA. I have anxiety about talking to anyone about it. But we know that, through therapy comes healing. And
Mhm.
so I wanted to just ask you, what are some of the things that we could do or tell them?
Powerful question.
And I know everyone's not the same. I know
Mhm.
everyone's not the same.
Shame and low
Mm,
self-worth
mm,
is probably at the top of the list why we tend not to seek services. Because I don't know about you, but when I made a decision to join the military, I, I knew I was going to learn a job, you know,
yeah,
find a career, explore the world, maybe get hurt. And you know what? I did sign on the dotted line up to including death.
right.
Okay. But did not expect sexual harassment. Did not expect the rape acceptance culture. And we didn't even have a term for it for military sexual trauma until 1992 after Tail Hook. And
Wow.
with that being said, we have come a long way with the improvements that have been made in the military to finally see women as of value and put certain laws in place, certain systems in place. And and even with all of that, we still have to deal with the shame. We have to deal with the low
Yeah,
self-worth because that's not what we signed up for.
right.
And we tend to blame ourselves. And so the first thing I believe in is encouraging people around self-empowerment. That is
Mhm,
not your shame. It's the offender shame. It's the military shame because they failed to protect you,
right.
case in point. And so um, I believe in encouraging people to tell their truth,
Yeah,
tell their story. And
yeah.
yes, it's consuming of your body, mind, and soul to bear that. But the VA does have it has an excellent system of mental health services that can help you through each journey or each step on that journey,
Mhm.
along with other programs and agencies outside the VA.
Thank you for that. And one thing about your book, it helps you kind of. It helps you navigate through the depression, or you sharing stories, just all of it helps you. Your book actually helps you navigate through some of the stuff that you just talked about. So I would encourage people, first, if you don't want to talk to anybody, and I'm not trying to promote your book, but I am trying to promote your book, because this actually helps. Look at some. I just want you guys to know some of the topics: embracing your veteran identity, you know the enthusiastic beginning and transformative military training, the dark side of the military, unveiling MST. So you go through all of those topics of what a woman veteran would experience. And not only that, I mean, there's things to help you to so you there's work for you to do. It's not like you're just sitting there and reading a book. So there's work for you to do. And I want to transition from that into Her Service Matters, your company. Let's talk. Can we talk a little bit about that? And I'm going
I
to tell
would
you what I was surprised to see. Go ahead.
oh, like, okay. Well, I would love to. And, with Her Service Matters, it uh, we work with military veterans and first responders, and I keep the definition of first responders broad, uh,
Hmm.
because you have people in the work environment who experience on-the-job trauma in helping others.
Right.
And even though the name of the organization is Her Service Matters, I work with men as well because we have more men in the military,
Yeah.
and who are veterans and first responders. Um, but I purposely named chose the name because I want women to know you matter. I don't care what you have, what your experiences were, what happened. You matter. Your service matters to this country. You are
Mhm.
part of American history.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I
Yes,
am
sir.
part of American history.
Yes.
But what I was surprised, so when I went, so what I was surprised to find, well, I'm not surprised because it's Dr. Dickerson, but what I was surprised to find that, when I think of mental health, I think of, okay, I'm going to learn military sexual trauma and, all the things that maybe someone has experienced in that. But what I was delightfully surprised was to find that you also have interpersonal skills communication. You also have problem solving and conflict resolution. And then the light went on like, yeah, that's all a part of the healing process. So,
Mhm.
so, and I love the way it's laid out, the way it's laid out. It's so simple. I mean, I don't have to, it's very user friendly, and I don't have to navigate, find out the topic that relates to me, and I can click on it, and I can get in touch with you. Now, you also have a nonprofit. So, would you please tell us about that? Because guess what? Our time is just about up.
Wow. Well, on the same journey, military veterans and first responders, and my board is made of the same community, and it's an opportunity to continue to work with this population and with without having to pay. And we conduct therapeutic retreats, we do workshops. We want to encourage self empowerment and life improvement, one thought at a time.
Wow. Wow. Dr. Dickerson, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I got room for one more tiny question. If listeners or those who are watching could just take away one message from either your book, your company, or this conversation, or just your experience, what would it be?
Along with understanding the importance of moving past low self esteem and low self worth, avoidance is also problematic. So you
Mm,
have to tell your mind what to think and your heart what to feel every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Affirmation, prayer, scriptures. Tell yourself that you are worth it, that you are amazing, you are undeniable, and you are. And I want to say thank you.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Dickerson. Andre, pull up another hand clap, please. Thank you for today. And as always, I will see you next Sunday. And keep your heart full and your coffee strong.